Hello children, it's Mrs. Gold here. I hope you're keeping well. I'm going to share with you one of my favourite stories today. It's called Man on the Moon, A Day in the Life of Bob, and it's written by Simon Bartram. So sit back and relax and enjoy the story. This is Bob. Perhaps you've heard people talk of him. You may know him better as the Man on the Moon. And here he is on the moon. This is where Bob lives. Every morning he rises at 6 o'clock. He has a cup of tea and 2 eggs for breakfast before leaving the house to go to his rocket launcher. Here's his rocket launcher on the top of this hill. On the way, he stops to buy a newspaper and some chocolate toffees for the journey. He's on his way to work on the moon. How amazing would that be? By 8 o'clock, Bob arrives at the launch pad. He gets changed into his special Man on the Moon suit and boards his fantastic rocket. He must make sure that he leaves by 8:45, otherwise he wouldn't make it to the moon by 9 o'clock. That's an amazingly quick journey, isn't it? On the way, he reads the newspaper and does the crossword. Wouldn't it be amazing to be able to get to the moon in 15 minutes? Bob starts work. His job as Man on the Moon is very important. He has to keep the moon clean and tidy. Quite often, astronauts drop sweet packets and cans. Some people say that aliens are responsible for much of this rubbish, but Bob knows that that is not true. There's no such thing as aliens. I'm going to bring my page a little bit closer. Can you see anything in the distance? Down here. Might be some aliens. Oh, there were some aliens, but Bob can't see them. By 12:30, it's time to eat. Bob goes to the rocket ship to fetch his lunch. This usually contains 2 sandwiches, either cheese or peanut butter, an apple, and some chocolate-covered nuts. Sometimes he meets his friends for a picnic. His 2 best friends are Billy, the man on Mars, and Sam, the man on Saturn. They talk about the stars and tell each other jokes. After lunch, the tourist spaceships start arriving from Earth. It's part of Bob's job to keep them entertained and give them something to photograph. So he does somersaults and handstands and especially high moon jumps. Sometimes he performs for as long as 2 hours and is left quite out of puff. Wouldn't it be amazing to go on holiday to the moon? Occasionally, the tourist spaceships land on the moon, and when they do, Bob gives them a guided tour and a speech. He tells them lots of facts about the moon, such as how many craters there are or how long it takes to walk around the moon on stilts. Sometimes people ask him about aliens, and Bob explains patiently that there aren't any. Afterwards, Bob opens a small souvenir stand selling postcards and pencils, mugs, and small plastic moon models. By 4:30, all the visitors must leave. Bob looks around to see that everyone has left the moon. He checks inside any big craters in case anyone has fallen in, but there's never anyone there. Can you see anyone inside the crater? I think I can. The working day is nearly over. It's time to check everything is in order before leaving for the night. Bob packs away his equipment and any unsold souvenirs into his rocket. He switches on the moon's night light just before jetting off towards the Earth. By this time, he's very tired, but he still has to keep his wits about him while flying the rocket. I'm going to show you this picture and see if you can see if he's got any unwanted guests on his rocket. I think I might spot some green toes there. Maybe a little green face. As he reaches Earth, it's about 5 o'clock. The rush hour is in full swing with everyone leaving work for the day and going home, just like Bob. Have a look closely at the people. Do they look like normal people going home from work? I can see a few green faces there and some strange googly eyes. At home, Bob is just like anyone else. First, he has a long bath. Moon work can make you very grubby, as sometimes the dust can get inside your suit. Then he goes to bed with a mug of cocoa. He sleeps soundly, bathed in the moonbeams, very happy to be the man on the moon. And aliens? Well, Bob would know if there were any, wouldn't he? Look at this last picture. There are aliens everywhere. And there's Bob's rocket in the background there. So I hope you enjoyed that story. It's called Man on the Moon, A Day in the Life of Bob. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll hopefully see you very soon. Take care. Goodbye.